This is the first generation of the Genesis GV80, the very first SUV from Genesis. This is codenamed JX1 and it was first launched in 2019. It was given a facelift in 2023 and the key has this diamond effect on it with the Genesis logo here. Unlock the car, lock the car, open the trunk and sound the alarm. Meanwhile, it has got self-park function, so you can turn on the vehicle using this and move the vehicle ahead and behind using these two buttons. So yes, that's very much premium. Straight away, let's open the engine bay because it has a big fat engine. Yes, that's a V6 engine which is huge. Look at the air intakes, amazing. There's insulation there as well. I love how neatly packed the engine is and it says twin turbo right there. Let's shut this. Doesn't this car look a bit like a more sophisticated and sportier version or a better looking version of say the Bentley Bentayga? Well, because the designer of Genesis is actually an ex-Bentley designer. That's the reason why it looks the way it looks. You get this massive grille with the camera right here. The Genesis logo completely blacked out. You get 6 parking sensors because it has got the remote parking as well as the self-park function. There is the radar and there are no fog lamps as such, but look at this air curtain here. So aerodynamics, yes, lights look beautiful. This is the DRL, this is the main light and you've got these multiple cubes on the inside which looks fantastic as well. Meanwhile, the indicator is functioning at the moment but no dynamic function as such. In terms of size, this car is as big as say the BMW X5. So yes, it is 5 meters in terms of length. The wheelbase is almost 3 meters and the ground clearance is 205 mm, which is decent enough. The wheels are massive, 22-inch wheels. 265/40 is the size of the tires and I like the design of the alloy wheels. 5-spoke, big fat open wheels because of which you can see the massive disc as well. It says Genesis here on the brake caliper as well. And notice this, the Genesis logo is always pointing in the right direction. I don't know how they do it because this obviously does not spin. However, it's always pointing in the right direction and obviously there is a camera there, a rain sensor as well. For lane keep assist, the camera is there. There's a camera here as well. It also projects from the outside rear view mirrors. The windows are completely blackened out because privacy glass, you get a shark fin antenna. This roof rail doesn't seem to be functional at all. And it says Genesis here. Yeah, it says it on the brake calipers, but it's better visible at the rear because of the way the car has been parked at the moment. Massive tires, same size tires everywhere. A trick suspension as well. Request sensors on all the 4 doors. Straight away, let's get inside and look at this. This actually comes out. Yes, as soon as you open or close the doors, it comes out. It says Genesis there. Meanwhile, look at this, okay? It's got soft close door function too. What a premium feature. Who would have imagined? Now here is where this car really excels because it's available as a 6-seater, as a 5-seater, as well as a 7-seater. This particular car seems to be, I think, 6-seater. So getting into the rear is not difficult. I press the button here. This seat is obviously moving ahead. I don't know what it's going to do. It's going to collide with this. Yeah, it collides with the rear seat entertainment screen and nothing has happened. So I think we need to put it back into place. I press the button and that happens. However, this has electric adjust for the rear seats. Beautiful seats. Yeah, nice quilting as well. Diamond quilting. Isofix child seat mounts, 10 airbags in this car. And now let me press the relax button. As soon as I press that button now, this seat goes all the way ahead. This reclines and now it is inviting me to come inside and sit. And so I shall. It says Genesis right there. Door pockets could have been lined nicely. That's not done here. And the rear passenger can control the door locking and unlocking as well. Says Bang & Olufsen. It has got an 18 speaker system with 1400 watt output and electric sunblind as well. That's nice. So privacy is very important in this car because obviously rich people buy it. I straight away get inside and then there's so much space. Let me just close the door with a lot of softness and there it pulls it inside to shut it as well. Now look at this. Lot of space, very comfortable. Under thigh support, not an issue at all. And headroom seems to be adequate enough as well. It gets this panoramic glass roof, but it's not a dual sunroof as such because you know what, they've put this panel in between. Otherwise it's one single unit because we obviously have a mirror here with a light as well, nicely damped hook as well as a light here on the top. Meanwhile, height adjustable seat belts. This is the coat hanger. And I like the fact that this center console is beautifully done because for starters, there's some amount of storage space here with UVC. What is that? It says UVC light, right? Because this is so that if you put anything here, you can sterilize it. So ultraviolet control or something of that sort. There's a wireless charging pad wherein you can sterilize your phone here as well. And some storage space right here, which is beautifully lined. Cup holders are both heated as well as cooled. You get a laptop charger here, 2 USB-C charging sockets and rear AC vents. So rear AC vents rear climate control. So it has a 4-zone climate control air conditioning system, 2 at the front, 1 here, 1 at the rear as well. And you got seat ventilation as well as seat heating too, aircraft style. And this is a 14.6-inch screen which has an HDMI as well as a USB-C port. So obviously you can see a lot of media, but it's asking for my phone number. I'm already tired of the kind of spams I get every day, so I'm not going to enter my phone number. Okay, Jadu, help me with this. And then you can control the screen from here as well. Airbag written almost everywhere possible. It's a very comfortable car. I like this. This is just amazing. Notice they are, what is this saying? I don't understand. Acoustic control. So obviously it has got noise cancellation as well, which plays low frequency sounds in reverse to cancel loud sounds. Dashboard looks beautiful. It's absolutely lovely. What an interior. I am so damn freaking impressed. Obviously you get ambient lighting too. This car is definitely going to create a big luxury market in India, because I think they're going to price it very sensibly, hoping so. Just motivating Hyundai to price it sensibly. I press this button, let this seat go all the way ahead. Let's see where it goes. So it's going to fold the seat completely, and now it's the time to get into the third row. Well, that's not enough. Do you go even further? No, it does not. So getting into the rear third row is a bit of a difficult task, because like you can see, the space isn't that great. Yeah, but I'll somehow manage to get inside. Oh my god, all the acrobats needed here. Now here's the problem, okay? Legroom, kneeroom, not that great. It's best for children. Under thigh support is missing. Headroom is poor. There's a light placement here on the top. Glove box, AC vent, speaker placement. Same is the case here as well. But you get AC controls here. So yeah, you can operate the air conditioning from here. That is very nice. I like this knurled finishing and these rotary dials, which are fantastic. The glass area is a bit small. There it opens. My goodness, that's really not the way it should be done. Anyways, you can make changes to the seat. Like if you want, you can just push this seat back up, let it come back, and let it squeeze my leg as well. Now once it's come all the way behind, I'm going to press this button here. Okay, it actually touched my leg, so it realized it moved ahead. Press this button. Okay, this is actually to move this seat. Yes, this seat ka recline works from this switch. I thought it was to tumble this seat, but to tumble I can simply press a button and then it will tumble. Same is the case here as well. You can press a button, so this seat goes all the way ahead, and so you can easily get out of the car if you want to do it. But yeah, last row is best for children. So let's get outside here. Come on, it should have had a easier exit area, but that's not the case here. Come on, go back into your place if you can. Wood treatment here, lot of leather, lot of premium materials in this car, which actually brings me to the rear of the vehicle, wherein the front headlights, red lights are always at the front, and the tail lights, they look very similar, but no dynamic swipe indicators here. And it has 6 parking sensors. The exhaust is placed somewhere right there. Yeah, it's there on both the sides. 6 parking sensors because it has got self-park, lot of cameras. So there's a camera here, there's another camera here. Why so many cameras? Because it has got a camera on the IRVM. There's a camera here as well. Genesis written in black. How do you open the boot? I was actually struggling. Then I remembered the Porsche Macan. It's copied from there. Press this button and there it opens the boot of the vehicle, which is not very big, because when you have the last row of seats up, you don't have much space. But I am going to use this button to put the seat down. You saw the headrest, it just flipped like this. And the good part is, I can put the second row seat down from here on using this button. I can put the second row seat down as well. Let me put this cover back up. And now I think I can put these umbrellas as well. Yeah, protection is very important. It can rain anytime here in Mumbai. And let me just put the parcel shelf here. Okay, it's locked somewhere there. I'm in Mumbai. That is the Bandra Valley ceiling. That is the ATC tower at Santa Cruz. So yes, we are shooting the Genesis in Mumbai. There's a light placement here, but obviously there's some storage space here, where there's a fire extinguisher and a warning triangle. Okay, this is the battery placement here, but there is no spare wheel. It should come with a tire mobility kit, I believe. Let's get inside because there's a lot to talk about. For starters, fuel goes in right here. This is obviously petrol powered, and that thing comes out. I love it. This is 16-way adjust. Yes, all electric. Obviously, this should have been line. Power window controls. Look at this finishing here. Actually premium. You get memory function as well. Electric parking brake, auto hold function, and this is for downhill assist. This is for traction control, and this is to increase or decrease the intensity of the instrument cluster, which is fantastic because it's a massive, and I mean massive, 27-inch OLED screen. For starters, let's turn off the air conditioning. This has come too far ahead, so let's move this a bit behind, and there it goes. The glove box is decent sized, and it has got the locking function as well. Let's turn off the indicator. I flip this and there the camera turns on. You get a mirror here along with a light, which is quite premium. Same is the case here as well. And this obviously extends to, which is fantastic, lot of buttons here. So this is to turn on and off some camera. I don't know which camera it is. And then obviously you can open the sunroof, which brings in a lot of airiness because the cabin is finished in all black. In India, they will give it beige, I'm sure, because beige is something which we love in India. That's about it. It doesn't open any further as such. Seats are really nice and comfortable. What happened? I was shutting you. What made you think that we should not be closing right now? Come on, don't get confused. Oh my goodness. Okay, the sunroof is now going to shut. Some or the other thing has happened there. Now notice this. Okay, I press this and there it opens. There's a wireless charging pad. Again, the UVC, and you get a 12-volt charging socket, two USB-C charging sockets, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Both of them are wireless. There's a heads-up display as well. And the steering feels nice to hold because there are a lot of buttons, proper physical buttons with knurled finishing as well. Electric adjust to naturally. And you have a lot of buttons here. There's sort of a screen right here. So this is actually for the air conditioning system. So I can operate the air conditioning using this, and I can decide how I want the air conditioning in the 3 rows as well, which is nice. And then I can get into maps, which will actually open it in this screen. I can do a lot of things from this screen itself, including seat heating and seat ventilation. So all the 4 seats are having this function, which is nice. Proper physical control for the volume as well. A lot of reflections coming here because of this sunroof, which refuses to shut. I don't know why. No, it's not going to shut. What has happened?
1 hour later.
Something has happened. Something must have gone in. I'll figure that out later. I need both my hands for the same. Now here you get some storage space as well, and this is the drive selector for the drive modes, parking sensors and parking camera. That is the parking camera. It has obviously got multiple views for the camera as well, and then you can spin the vehicle like this, which is also very nice and cool. Quality of the screen is phenomenal. Lot of features, lot of functions you can browse through. There's valet, there's home to car, in-car payment, yeah, toll automatically gets deducted here. Built-in camera. Oh, I understood. There's a camera here. That camera is for the dash cam. So this guy's got ADAS, yet it has got a dash cam as well, which is fantastic. Unable to record while using dash cam. Dash cam is on at the moment. I don't know why, but it is on. Now you can do live recordings. You can save a lot of stuff. It's just phenomenal how slick the screen is. And then you can obviously operate the air conditioning from here as well if you want. So if you want buttons, you can use that. If you want touch, you can use that. So there, Hyundai or Genesis giving you both the options is absolutely fantastic. Really easy to browse through this. And there's something known as a mood curator. You can decide what kind of a mood you are in: vitality, delight, care, or comfort. Okay, stop it right now. Let's get out from here. And I'm just going to use the mute button here to shut this. Let's come into reverse. This is the gear selector, which has this nice knurled finish. Very, very, very premium. And this is like the iDrive controller in BMW cars. So you can use this to rotate and come to the menu which you want. And this is very premium as well. Now this is obviously a very easy screen to use because, like all other Hyundai cars, you can browse through a lot of stuff simply by pressing buttons here. So there you see, I can change the various modes. That is the driver power distribution, which shows that this is obviously 4-wheel drive. And then, oh my goodness, so damn premium. And you can change a lot of stuff from here itself. This is for the lane keep assist and all those things. And as soon as I rev the engine, I realize it has a red line at 5000 RPM, which is a nice and loud red line. Let me touch this because this is actually the fingerprint sensor which has been given as well. The engine start button, I turn it off and it tells me to update the vehicle. And the seat actually moves behind as soon as I turn off the car. That's also very nicely done. Okay, some hard plastics lower down, but you have this soft material all over the dashboard, which obviously looks very premium. Let's turn on the car. Smooth AF, very, very, very smooth. My seat is coming ahead. So very premium in that sense. And you know, earlier they used to have a screen in the center. I think that was a 15-16 inch screen or something of that sort, and then there was a different 8-inch cluster and all. Now they just put one big fat screen, which is OLED. Very nice. The horn is okay. Let's start driving. Okay, I figured out why this was not shutting. So there was something stuck. I fixed that. Meanwhile, there's a button here. I press that and I can turn on the massage. So this comfortable stretch, pelvis, waist, whole body and all those things, which is fantastic. And that is actually for the driver monitoring system too. Let's go. Okay, first things first, let's flip this, turn off the air conditioning and get into sport mode as well. Now this car, the GV80, is going to compete with the BMW X5 and the Mercedes GLE, two very popular and proven cars in the world. And when it comes to India, it's obviously going to undercut both these cars by a good rupees 20 to 30 lakhs. But what engine is going to power this car? Now that is an interesting question, because first things first, let's get hard with the throttle. Isn't that a very sporty sound for a Genesis, which is actually a luxury car? They've done fantastic insulation because double glazed windows and thick glass and fat carpets and all those things. But I'm quite impressed by how smooth this car is to drive, because the engine is extremely silent. You can't hear a thing inside this car unless and until you drive like me, which is higher end of the rev range. Past 4000 RPM, obviously it becomes vocal. The 8-speed gearbox is also very smooth shifting. However, it has something known as progressive or predictive gear shifts, wherein this car reads the map and the navigation and is able to decide that how the gear shift should function, so that it reduces the number of gear shifts happening in this car, thereby improving the smoothness of the vehicle. And that's not the only rocket science in this car. It has also something known as I don't remember the exact word for the suspension, but it's able to read the road surfaces and also use the map data to understand where there are bumps on the road and make adjustments to the adaptive dampers accordingly. Doesn't have air suspension, it has got self-leveling rear suspension only. There's limited slip differential. It's available with rear wheel drive, it's available with all-wheel drive as well. And in terms of performance, well, it is going to blow your mind because it's very fast. How fast? Upshifts at around 6000 RPM. So 0 to 100 kilometers per hour takes just 5.5 seconds. That's thanks to the fact that this car is powered by 3.5 liter twin turbo V6 engine, which makes 380 PS of power and 530 Newton meters of torque. That's a lot of torque, but the engine is also huge. However, in India, we should hopefully get the diesel, which is a 3 liter unit. It's an inline 6 cylinder. It produces 278 PS of power and 600 Newton meters of torque. Standard 8-speed gearbox. You've got paddle shifters, and then you have got multiple drive modes as well. So there's eco, comfort and sport, and obviously whenever I change all these things, you know, it reminds you of Hyundai cars, because the base architecture seems very similar here. The blind view monitor, beautifully done, high resolution screens, great view of what's around. But in spite of the fact that this car has got this strict suspension wherein it's able to read the road surface and do all that, unfortunately the ride is not that great, because this car is running on really big tires, because of which it's running low profile and you can feel a bit over bad bumps. But you realize when it turns on, because this is obviously having an internal combustion engine, big fat engine, but there are electric versions of this car as well, with a lot more torque, with rear wheel steering as well. There's no rear wheel steering here. Now in terms of traffic situation, there's a lot of traffic here, but you're going to enjoy driving this car because of the smoothness, comfort, luxury. And in terms of handling, there's obviously body roll. The steering is not that great. There's a bit of numbness here, so this is not a car for enthusiastic driving. But where will Genesis fit in when it's launched in India? For starters, let's go into the history of Genesis. In 2004, Hyundai is like, let's make a premium sedan. In 2008, they launched that premium sedan, and then the response was good. Then they realized, you know what, maybe we should have a different name for this car which we are making, a different brand altogether. And that's the reason in 2015, Genesis was born. They've sold around 1.4 million units in 9 years, which is quite impressive. In fact, they have sold more cars in their first 10 years than what Lexus managed, which Infiniti managed or Acura managed. And obviously, the Genesis is the premium version of Hyundai, just like how Acura is for Honda, Infiniti is for Nissan, and Lexus is for Toyota. And only Lexus is present in India. So you can say this car is technically going to compete with Lexus models, but I feel pricing is going to make a huge difference. In terms of pricing, expect this car to be priced around rupees 90 lakhs ex-showroom, going up to rupees 1 crore, going to come via the CB route, still going to undercut cars like the BMW X5 and the Mercedes GLE by a good rupees 20-30 lakhs. The problem is, there are actually two problems. First and foremost, Mercedes and BMW both have given up on those cars, saying that, you know, the future is electric, so we're only going to make electric models. So there's not going to be a proper generation change for those models. Whatever is going to happen is just going to be small updates, minor updates. Obviously, masked as all new generation, which is not actually true, because it's just going to be the same platform throughout. Those two cars actually sold at a massive discount. You can get a BMW X5 today at the price of a new BMW X3, because the X3 is a newer model, so obviously there are not many discounts going on that car. So in terms of the overall feel of Genesis, you can say that it feels dramatically different. Why is this guy driving so fast? yeah, when in Rome, do what the Romans do. So the thing is not going to be very dramatic. It is actually dramatically different when compared to a Hyundai model, because Hyundai is largely front wheel drive. This is rear wheel drive. So the architecture is a little different here, because of which, what is this guy doing and why am I so behind in life? Wow, absolutely effortless performance. And because this is a big fat engine, fuel efficiency is not that great. 7.7 kilometers per liter is the claimed fuel efficiency, so expect a lot less in the real world. However, when it's going to come with diesel power, that's going to be absolutely phenomenal. I actually enjoy driving this car because of the refinement, and when you want power, it has it. When you get onto the throttle, it responds. 2,200 kgs of mass being flinged ahead with absolute effortlessness. That is what Genesis is for you, in terms of luxury, in terms of comfort, in terms of tech, in terms of features, and in terms of performance as well. This car really excels. Yes, the ride could be better. It's not a car which handles great, but it doesn't need to. If they give higher profile tires in India, that will definitely work in its favor. So guys, this is my review of the Genesis GV80, which was actually showcased, oh, so satisfying in the top end, which was actually showcased as the GV80 concept, which was actually a hydrogen fuel cell vehicle before launch. And this is actually the very first SUV from the Genesis brand. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. That's a like button. Now road works have started, so it's time to end. Bye.